It's Friday. We're gonna talk about what's sold. Yeah, it's Friday. I hope you sold something too. Yes, I really, really do. It's Friday.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Friday episode where we are going to talk about some things that sold from my eBay store this week. And it's another great assortment of stuff. Forgot my spiel. I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it, how much it sold for, how much the net profit is after you back out the eBay fees and the Poshmark fees, because I had one sale on Poshmark this week and it was a good one. So let's get started. The first item is a pair of MBT sandals. I picked these up for $6.75 and they sold for $42, and that gave me a profit of $28.49, and that just took a month for those to sell. All right, this one I like. This is a cutie. It's only about this big. It was a little pig stained glass situation, lamp, nightlight, whatever you want to call it. But I was pleasantly surprised with how much these can go for. I spent $2.30 on him and he sold for $40. That gave me a profit of $31.20, and that just took 5 weeks to go. Alrighty, this one here, I probably won't do this again. This was a tiny seashell mobile, however you want to say it. We spent $2 on this one, sold for $18, and that gave me a profit of $12.75, and it took 7 months to sell. I hope somebody's loving it. Those little guys getting all tangled. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I conquered and I got it shipped out. I wrapped each little unit of shells in paper and then put that whole thing in paper and then in a box. That's the best advice I can give for something like that. So anywho, this shirt here, this is a vintage 90s Panhandle Slim mixed plaid and chambray shirt. It was really cool. And Panhandle Slim used to sell really well for me. So I was excited when I found it. I paid $6.74 for it. It did finally sell for $25. So that gave me $14.64. And that one took a year and 3 months to go. And it was, I think it was either a double XL or maybe a triple XL. So it was a specific size for that one. But Panhandle Slim in general is just not doing as well for me anymore. Let me know how it's doing for you. I'd love to get some feedback on that. All right, you might remember this one. This is that glass Roadrunner that we found at a sale not too long ago. We did pay, ended up working out to be $10 after I did my total, divided everything I got. $10 into this Roadrunner. It sold for $30, and that gave me $14.28, and it just took 3 weeks for him to go, and I got positive feedback on him too. Notice at the top here, I don't know if you can read it, but it does say, note from the buyer, please pack this really well. I mean, it's a glass Roadrunner, of course I'm going to give it some effort, so I think I must have done a great job on it because it did get there in one piece. All right, another bird. This one is a Pier 1 carved wood bird. I paid $10 for him, and he sold for $36. That gave me a profit of $19.75, and it took 2 months for that one to go. That one's going internationally too. I think it's still flying its way there right now. All right, do you recognize this guy? This is Sippy, and he is from the good old Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak. That one, I paid $1 for him. I couldn't resist him. I love that book, and I always will. He sold for $15, and he took a while too. My profit was $11.15, and he took a year and 2 months to go. I did notice if you have the whole group of them, all of the beasts, they do sell for a nice amount if you have the set, but I didn't. So keep your eye out for them. If you do find the set, that is great. All right, this week's flatware is, this was an Oneida stainless. This one actually was a hero find. So we're gonna cue that laser beam. This one I got for $5. It sold for $78, giving me a profit of $61.30, and it took 2 months for that one. Alrighty, now here is some lab glass. I bought a kind of a big lot of lab glass a while back. So each piece ended up being costing me $2.14. So this is 2 pieces. They are Chemex graduated barrettes, and they did have a little valve on there as well. So I'm into these 2 for $4.28, and they sold for $45. So I was real happy about that. The profit on those is $33.05, and those took 2.5 months to sell. I do like lab glass. Some of it does really well, some of it does not. So be choosy if you are finding this. That's the best advice I can give on it, really, but I've done really well with some really interesting lab glass pieces. These were great, and they're just really long and skinny, so I did actually have like a tube to ship them in. It was nice. Okay, next up here, this one is, this is straight out of the 90s here. This is a vintage Alpine 3525 bridgeable amplifier for your car. And if you're younger than me, you probably don't know what this is, but this was a big deal in high school if you had an Alpine amplifier in your trunk, and like a disc changer, all the stuff in there. Yeah, this was a cool thing. Anywho, I paid $3.33 for this one. Actually bought 3 amplifiers at once for $10, so that's how that worked out. It sold for $60. This was my final one out of the group that I bought. My profit was $46.38, and it took 8 months for that one to go. And this one's going international too, so somebody over there is doing a little blast from the past. All right, this set here, this is a vintage, the brand is called Cast, and this is a wood bocce set made in Italy. Even the Polino was wood. It's in excellent shape. Original packaging, instructions, all the original information was in there. It's a really nice set. I picked it up for $10. It sold for $76, and that gave me $52.22, and it just took 2 weeks to sell. Once I finally got it listed, because these were so heavy. Wow. Once I got them boxed up, they weighed 19 pounds and I shipped them to California. It ended up not being too terrible for the shipping, but if you're going to sell something like this, be prepared for a big shipping bill, way heavier than I thought they would be. But that's a good thing. And the person sent me a note and they said they were going to be used at a wedding. So that's fun. And congrats. I hope you have fun with them. These are great. All right, next up here, this is a Macmillan Teacher's Guide. And these are for, what it was I bought a large box full of what they were called as Manipulatives by Macmillan. And they're little teaching sets. So each box, they had a bunch of tools in there to teach addition, subtraction, all kinds of stuff. And this was the teaching guide to those sets. So I still have the sets. I'm selling them in lots of 4. It's not going real well, to be honest. I'm into each piece for 54 cents, so it's not terrible. This guide sold for $15. That gave me a profit of $11.75. And I really hope, somebody that's doing homeschooling, something like that, they will pick up the actual sets that I have for a great deal. And these are expensive originally, but I'm doing them for a great price. So if you know anybody, check out my store. This dress here, not too much clothes this week, which I like. This dress was an Anthropologie mauve. I picked it up for $1. It sold for $19, and that gave me $14.63. I did take an offer on it because I have had this dress for a year, and I figured somebody needs it. By golly, they're going to wear this to a wedding or something. It was really pretty. All right, this was my favorite piece of the week. This is, you can see here, it's kind of stringy looking. It's the root of a bamboo tree plant. So his hat there is it's the start of the bamboo shoot, and all those stringy things, those are the roots. And what they did was they carved a face out of there. I mean, I'll insert a closer up picture of the face as well, because it was so cool. It's about 18 inches long. The roots were just wild and crazy. I got this one for just $1.34, and it sold for $55. So that gave me a profit of $44.17, and that took 2 days to sell. Like, when I knew I saw him hanging on the wall at the estate sale, I thought, that guy's cool. I love a carved wood face anyway, but I loved the beard. And sure enough, yes, these are highly collectible. People want them. So if you see one like this, pick it up. All right, and at the same sale, I did get this tool. This is a woodworker's Scorp. It's curved blade used to carve out a seat. I'm sure it's just like that when you're doing it. Carving out a seat for a chair. Really neat wood handles. It's in great shape. It's a vintage tool. Again, $1.34 I spent on it. Sold for $70, which was, I was pleasantly surprised with that. And yeah, and you know what? We got to give credit. This is a hero find. So the profit on that one was $58.25, and that one just took 3 days to sell. I will never overlook woodworking tools in someone's workshop, wood shop, garage, any of that. Yes, I'm usually the only woman in there looking with all the guys, but I love selling tools like that. It's always fun. Okay, next up here, this is a cute little set of, you can see they look like coins, and they are. There are replicas of a King George coin, but they're buttons, and I got these for 50 cents. They sold for 15, and that gave me a profit of $11.91, and those took 3 weeks to go. All right, Halloween is a coming, and this guy here's, these people are going to be ready. This is a vintage Gemmy is the brand, Gemmy. That's always, I don't want to say always, but I have good luck with Gemmy stuff. If you see that name, look up whatever it is. It's probably going to be a good thing. But I got this guy for just $2. He sold for $21, and that gave me $15.45. And that one took 11 months to go. Ooh, this one might be my favorite. I don't know. It's tied with the bearded guy, because these are so unexpected, and they were sitting on a table at an estate sale. I got these for just $5. And what they are, this is, the brand is called Donegan, and they're OptiVisor lenses. So they're magnifying lenses that attach to a visor, you know, for someone who's working on tiny things. But there's 3 different magnifications. One was new, the other 2 were not, but still, they sold for great money. Got these for $5, and they sold for $63. That gave me $48.91, and they sold in just 2.5 months. Yeah, look for these, and if you find them, get them. All right, another crewel work cross stitch piece. This one was really interesting. It was on like a mesh, so a lot of it just had the blank mesh in there, and I wasn't sure about it, but it was only $1, so I took a gamble, and sure enough, that did sell for $35, giving me $27.89, and that just took 2 months for that one. All right, next up here, this is a German Bierstein. I don't know why I had trouble spitting that out. This one was unique because it has a flat top. Usually you see them with a more pointed, fancier top on there with that little thumb. But, you know, but usually people have these and they haven't used them. They've only displayed them, which is great for resale because they're in good shape, just dusty. So you clean it off, get it listed. This one I got for 93 cents, and it sold for $20. So my profit on that one is $15.17. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this time, I guess. Okay, that's it for eBay. But my next one here, this is a Poshmark sale. And I realize I don't have my notes here. Okay, this one is it's a Ralph Lauren linen suit, 2-piece, blazer and pants. Gorgeous. It was a size 6. I got the whole suit for $4.69 at an estate sale, and it sold for $100. That gave me a profit of $75.31, and that took just under a month to sell. You might have seen the video where I picked that up in that fabulous closet where I got so many good things. Gosh, so that's it. That's all we're going to talk about this week. It's a beautiful weekend here. I hope it is where you are, so you can get out and do some sourcing, get some good stuff. You can get it listed, get it sold. I am going to see you on Monday, and it's going to be something a little different, especially if you're new here. Maybe you haven't seen one of these videos from me, but please tune in and see what I'm up to, because I'm trying something, and it's it's a little, I'm out of my comfort zone, but check me out on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you so much for watching.